Hi everyone, welcome to the customization training session. Today, I will jump in immediately and pretend that there's a job seeker next to me on Skype. So, hi Akim, welcome to the customization session. Today, I will show you how to not only customize your resume, but also how to use the customization session or the customization preparation you will do by yourself at some point. Um, as a strategy to not only have a great customized resume and increase the chance of getting an interview invite, but also to increase the chance of actually passing the interview and getting a job. The reason is that a lot of job seekers, when they finally have a great, well customized resume after putting a lot of work and time and maybe back and forth with their advisor or other help resource, um, they might end up getting an interview invite very fast. A lot of employers are assessing the flexibility and responsiveness of job seekers because they want to see how much interested you are and how flexible you are if you will receive a last minute interview invite. Sometimes you have a lot of on your plate, family responsibilities, maybe a survival job, and this is totally normal that you cannot prepare yourself ahead of time perfectly. But you can make it easy as possible for you, that you at least have the basics that you need to remember for an interview. And this is what I will show you today, how you can combine while customizing with only a few details you can do, like highlighting and understanding and remember a few questions, how you can make sure that you will pass this interview. So when you customize, always remember the first step is, go first to the first step. You will copy and paste the job description you find in a Word document to make it as easy as possible so you can start right away to customize the job description and to work with it. Sometimes there are PDF documents, and although it is a little bit back and forth and you need to change the format a little bit, but I would recommend every time when you find a job, which is even in a PDF document format, to copy paste and try your best to have it in a Word so you can work with it, which will be just helpful for you. The next step is as well to make, as easy as possible for you, add the link here. Add the link for the position, for the company and the career, and the direct link to the career website. So once you're ready to apply, or once you would like to gather more information, want to go back to the company, you have it right away and you don't need to look for them. Make it, efficient for you. So that's why I commented here and always the link directly to the company and the company's website. So the next step is to understand that there are different sections in every job description. Some job descriptions are very long, some short, but every job description has usually 3 parts at least. And structure them. So what I would recommend, to use red for requirements, green for general responsibilities, yellow for preferred skills and responsibilities in the general summary, blue as important skills. And then it's up to you how you would like to start. I recommend, though, always to go first to the requirements, which are usually below. Nevertheless, make sure that when you want to ask yourself, okay, do I meet the 80% for the job, the 80% criteria, also pay attention, besides the requirements in this section, sometimes you would find throughout the entire job description keywords just like must or should have. So the candidate must have. So if you find this somewhere else, mark this red as well, because this might be an important skill or experience that you want to mention in interviews or in your resume as well. From now, you will start with this, and I have added a few questions you should ask yourself in your resume, but also in your interview. So in your interview, you will, in your resume, when you customize, you have to go by line, and you have to ask yourself, did I perform this specific task? If yes, How did I perform those? What was the impact, result, positive outcome of my task activities and responsibilities? What specific examples do I have for every bullet point? And do I have number statistics I can use to quantify? Important is that later on you will use the exact same wording. Just think about the 80% you have to meet in the software, the application tracking software system that analyzes the matching rate based on the key skills you have implemented in the same language. So in the requirements, you can see there are also blue highlighted bullet points, which are the soft skills. The soft skills are important for your resume as well. What I would recommend though is to focus on the most important you want to highlight, and later on, if you have an interview, you want to mention with specific examples. You don't need to use all of them because you don't want to just paraphrase and copy paste in your resume, but focus on the quality. So I would suggest to choose 3 or 4 soft skills. Remember them and make sure that once you have the first interview, you have strong examples formulated already. So we have on Weiglo, I usually at this point share my screen with job seekers. I won't do it now just to save a little bit of time, but I usually in this moment I would go to Weiglo and show the PRI examples for my job seekers, and I also show additional advanced interview skill training video very quickly so the job seeker knows that he can find those there. So it's, as I said, a combination of customization and at the same time already referring to important interview-related trainings, especially the behavioral and PI examples. Okay, so let's go back to the mock session. So after you are done with the requirements skills section, you can go, it's up to you where, you can go to the primary responsibilities section, which has very good examples that you can implement using the same questions. Just remember, if you have not performed any task of those, don't worry and don't be concerned. A lot of job seekers are getting frustrated because they assume they need to have experience in those responsibilities or tasks. That's not true. So the only 80% rule is here that you have to meet these specific requirements. This is to strengthen your arguments and your resume and make you as a candidate more competitive by using examples. If you have performed those in the past, so you ask yourself the same questions as here. If you have not performed those, then at least use the action words, because this will describe the character of your performed role in the past, which is important. So it will show your action, task and responsibilities, and also the nature of the work you have performed, which is important when you apply for a similar level of job. Okay, and this one you will highlight green. So afterwards, I would suggest to go through the position summary. I like the position summary because it gives a general overview of the most important experience, skills, responsibilities, which is similar to your professional summary on your resume. So that's why I highlight a few keywords here as well, which you can use later on in your professional summary. The nice part is that once you use some of aspects here mentioned, you will highlight already in the first few sentences of your professional summary that you are exactly the candidate they are looking for just by using a few examples. The other section is, which I also highlighted yellow, the desired and preferred skills. This is also a section that sometimes confuses job seekers and raise some concerns if they don't meet those skills. However, I want to emphasize that these are only desired skills, so you don't need to meet at all any of those. However, if you have experience or a specific skill set here, or language, or familiarity with specific rules and regulations, which would be, for instance, the USAID here, mention those, because this is what will make you to an outstanding candidate. This is kind of the bonus for you. So just imagine if you would apply in a different candidate and you have additional skill set that you have mentioned. Guess who will be the candidate who will be invited for another round of interviews? It's probably you. So just keep this in mind. You don't need to focus on your resume or for the resume customization on the background of the company. For your cover letter, you might want to consider and include some of the values. But for this is what you want to do. So as the next step, and it might look a little bit messy, but you want to be, as efficient as possible and avoid going back and forth and missing important information. That's why for your customization, once you're ready with your customization, I usually recommend to copy what you have highlighted and just paste it in your resume. So here's your resume, and I have obviously already started. So we can post it here or paste it here below the key skill section, and then try to organize it in a way that you want to work on it. Just imagine this is not highlighted yet. So this is a resume I already worked on. And then start with the requirements skill section. So let's have the requirements skill section and move it to the beginning so you will work on with this. So mention it, organization is very important. It helps you to stay on track in the customization process. So now you want to start with asking yourself the questions I mentioned here. Did I perform this task? If yes, how did I perform? What was the result, specific impact, and the same vocabulary. So you want to start with your professional summary and the key skills section. The reason is that when your application meets the 80% rule and is going through the application tracking software system to an actual human for review, usually an HR and recruiter is spending only 6 minutes 6 seconds to review your resume. So you want to make sure that already in the first sentence you highlight the most relevant experience, skills, and knowledge that is important for the resume, for the job, to make sure that the recruiter is interested in continue to read your resume and potentially invite you for an interview. So go line by line and see what needs to be changed in order to meet the requirements. Okay, I see you have 8 years of experience. That means you have to remove it and you have to add 2 years working experience. I added the word international education development, which is here mentioned as well. So you have this already implemented and I will delete this. So I also will lead this here. International education, you have mentioned this. Okay, understanding of international education issue. I have added this in your key skills section as one of your important skills and backgrounds. You can play around with this a little bit. It doesn't matter if you highlight this in your professional summary or key skills section. Most important is that you use the wording and later on mention a few examples for that. But yeah, then you can delete this here as well. Everything what you have used up, so you know. Okay, let's go to the soft skills. So the soft skills are excellent communication, analytical, and problem-solving skills. I think reading the job description, this is very important. So mention these skills as well. I have added this here. Demonstrate the organizational administrative skills I have been adding as well, and then ability to work in a cross-cultural team environment. I also added the ability to manage and execute multiple concurrent tasks with limited supervision. So we have covered actually a lot of soft skills, which I think you definitely have and which are important for the role. Make sure for every skill now you can see every soft skill. Now we can delete this, by the way, as well. For every skill, you will have specific examples. So, Now the position summary. We have the position summary here, and I have highlighted, as you can see, I have adjusted your title, Program Associate Specialist, which is important. So every time when you customize, make sure that, if applicable and accurate, adjust your title as well. Then provides a combination of technical, financial, administrative support. I have added it here, so you see. I use the word support and also the multilingual context, because this has been mentioned a few times. So it's up to you what you will be using, but just think strategically, as mentioned a few minutes ago, that when you have a professional summary that includes a few parts of the position summary examples, this will immediately make a first impression that you are the candidate for this role. And this is what you want to achieve with a customized resume, right? So remove what you don't need anymore. I forgot to mention the desired skills, actually. So let's move this to the beginning as well. Here, so you can see if there's something you want to add from this. I have added it as a bonus skill, as a desired skill, the field experience in international development. So we can remove that. Focus of education. In education, I have been adding this somewhere as well here, exactly. Okay, and then familiarity with basic research methods. So we are done with this section as well. Okay, so these are parts as well you can add if you're interested, but this is just additional because this is only highlighted as expected outcome. So this is not that important to include, as you have already a lot of customized skills here mentioned. So the nice part is, once you're done and once you follow with my advice with the highlights, eventually you can see what you have customized. And this helps you to actually see, okay, you have done an amazing job, and you have the skills that are important for the job, just based on seeing what you have highlighted so far. So that's definitely 80%. And now the key is to focus as well on your professional working experience. And the customization here will take, I think, most of your time, because it is important to not just copy paste the examples and the words. You want to make sure that you have examples, strong examples. So if you have provided technical, administrative, financial, operational support, you should evaluate this and explain. And you have done an amazing job here, that you explain what exactly did you do. So that's why I emphasize the question, which will help you. Did I perform this? How often? So this is what you will be using as a guidance when you will answer, or when you will work on this section here. And later on, you have marked this red. I would mark this green, but it's up to you how you do this. But this is also a way you can see which examples later in the interview you will mention. So I would recommend always to have 2 copies of your customized resume. The one you will submit, the final version without the highlights, and the other one where you have the highlights still included. So once you have the interview, you can pull it out and use it as a cheat sheet for you, and focus on the language, on the examples, highlighting strong examples of your accomplishments and experience. All right, so that was it. Usually what I do with a job seeker, I usually let him work on this section to implement a few more examples. This is what I am experiencing, that after the one-on-one customization session, some job seekers still need some 1 or 2 more days of time for just adding a few more examples that are specific, because a lot of job seekers tend to only add the keywords, but I always emphasize they have to add specific examples, numbers, and then they send it usually right away they submitted actually and let me know that they applied. So I usually don't have another review after that. So usually my part is done after this, and the customized resumes of my job seekers has been amazing. Not just the customized resumes, but also the interviews. I heard a lot of positive reviews that the customization has helped them in the interview preparation as well, because just seeing the highlights and comments helps them to focus on relevant information when they have an interview. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if there's something not clear. And I'm happy to explain and have a call. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening. And I'm very excited to hear your feedback. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.